Hello everyone, this is Aaron again, and just want to say right at the outset, I purchased another gun. This is probably going to be my last gun. I'm pretty sure it's going to be my last gun because it actually fills a niche that I needed to have filled in terms of the pesting and the different type of hunting that I do. And I needed one more gun to fit into that. Before I go into that and to purchase this gun, let me just say real quick, some people have said, Aaron, you buy a lot of guns. Well, I buy in other things. I buy those things because one, I love doing the videos, I love doing the reviews, and you have to make some purchases in order to do those reviews because I'm not sponsored or anything. But let me talk to you about how I get my toys and how it all started. When I first got married, and you start to have kids and bills are coming in out of this world and that sort of thing. You don't have extra money for hardly anything at that time. But as my wife and I ventured through that with our two boys, I was a smoker. I was a heavy smoker, I guess you would say. I was smoking 1 pack a day. They were trying to get me to stop, and that's what started me on this task of how I purchase my toys. I made a deal with the family that if they let me have the money, I would stop smoking. At that time, I was smoking a pack a day at $1.25 a pack, and 365 days a year times $1.25 comes out to be about $450. So I would get that $450 and incentive to stop smoking. Everybody was happy for me to have that money because they really wanted me to stop. So now I had $450 a year that I could spend on anything I wanted without question. Keeping the peace in the household and not messing with the budget because the money would have been gone anyway on something that was really harmful to me. Then later on I made a deal with the family because I'm quite handy around the house. I made a deal with the family that any money I could save the family, I would get half of that. So if the water heater went out, I bought the water heater and I installed it. We had a furnace go out, I installed a furnace. If the brakes went on in the car, if the water pump went on in the car, whatever the cost was going to be for us to take that in for service, if I could do it myself, I would get half that money. And so again, those were real dollars being saved to the family. Money that would have been gone, and we were able to save half of that money to the family, and I would get the other half to spend. And to this day, that is how I purchased every gun I've had. None of the guns I have has come out of what we call real money. And real money is the family money that's got to go towards all the things we have to have in terms of to live. So I just want to throw that out because not to one, explain it, but two, it may work for you too if you think that through. And not only that, but if you do things around the neighborhood, I'm real handy with cars. I know how to do brakes, and I know how to do water heaters. I know how to do alternators, all of the smaller things. I can do transmission too, but I'm too old for that now. But any of that money that I did on that was my money. It did not go into the family's household budget. So that's again how I paid for all of my toys, and again how I continue to pay for these. So that was just by way of explanation to you, and maybe some ideas that may be able to help you to get some toys and keep the family peace. Okay, back to this gun. I have looked at a lot of guns, as you know. I've reviewed a lot of guns, and I've researched 3 times more than I've actually had in my hand to review for you. And I've studied them and studied them and studied them. And as I studied them, 4 guns kept creeping to the top of late. I have one of them, the Gamma Urban, that crept to the top, and I found a deal on that, as you saw my other videos, that I just could not turn down. Then it came down to 3 guns that I was really, really crazy over. Actually, I can say 4. But one recently jumped in there. Okay, one of the guns that I was really, really crazy about was the Puncher Breaker. Loved the way it looked, loved the style, and loved everything about the gun, and it had a power wheel on it. What I didn't like about it, the gun was heavy. Then there was the Bull Boss came out, and I thought, oh, that's a really, really nice gun. Again, a bit heavy, but I really liked the gun and everything about it. Then the Flash Pup came out. Oh, I took a serious look at the Flash Pup. Another great gun out there for you guys. All these guns I'm saying are great guns. I researched them. They would be great guns to have. And then finally there was the P15. And no matter where I journeyed in terms of opinions, in terms of wants and desires and that sort of thing, I kept coming back to the P15. And mainly for the reason of this. The P15 weighs under 5 pounds. It's short. It's easy to carry. It's accurate. It's quiet. It fit all of the bills, and it comes in under $500. So In this box right now is a P15, and we're gonna do an unboxing. That's all we're gonna do today is an unboxing, tell you what's in the box, tell you what I paid for it, tell you some other things about it, and then we're going to take a look at what we can do to review this gun sometime in the future. So let's take a look inside the box and see exactly what comes with this gun and why I'm so high on it. Okay, let's do that. Okay. All right, let's go a little bit of the unboxing of this gun. I actually got this gun from Carl in the Netherlands. And you can find that if you go on the internet and look under KRALE, you will find their website. You can order this gun for $469 plus shipping. Now you got another option. Diana has come out with this same gun, because this gun is made in China, actually, the P15, but it's being sold under a number of names around the world. But Diana is now selling it, and the cost for it's got a nicer stock on it, you'll find, but the cost of that gun, they want $700 for it. This was $469. With that money that I saved on this gun here, I was able to get a scope and a bipod, and a sling for this gun. So this is it. This is the P15. This is a gun that I've been excited about for a long time. Just wanted it ever since Ken let me review his. I just fell in love with this thing, and let me just say that I am excited to have it. And I can't wait to unbox it now and then do a review later. So let's open up and see what comes with this thing. All right, here it is. This is the way it would come in the box. And as you can see, they have that box actually set up so that they can include. Oops, get up. They actually have the box set up so if they wanted to, they could include in it a scope and some magazines and other things as part of the process. But this is how it comes. It's really boxed well. It comes in the actual box here. It is also put another line. But it comes with the manual. And the manual is in English. That's always good, so I've gotten some that weren't. And let's see what comes with this gun. Let's just take it out. I really love this. I love the way the gun is basically etched right into it and fits perfectly into there. I really like that. You know, if you wanted to get a case for this, all you do is drop this into the case and make allowances for your scope up here, and everything is set. I really like the way it's boxed. All right, let's take a look at what comes with this thing besides the manual here. Okay. One thing I really wish, and let me just say this out the outset, okay? This thing comes with 3 magazines. 1, 2, and the third magazine is what a lot of people like to use, especially if they're going to be bench resting, and that is a single shot tray. 3 magazines with this $9 gun. I have 2 guns over there. One I paid $1,800 for, another I paid $1,600 for, and I had to go out and buy additional. On one of the guns, the actual magazine is $100. On the other one is $35. Here you get 3 with a $169 gun. Why can't they do it with the expensive ones? Why they already made the money? Why do they need to make more money off it? And then in here you're gonna find. I just dumped this out for you. In here you're gonna find every tool that you need to make all the adjustments on this gun. Okay, and you're gonna find every O-ring the gun needs. And I'm not sure what this tool is for. I'll look that up later. But it basically comes with everything you need to service this gun out of the box. You don't have to send it back. You don't have to, when my 2 FXs went out, I had to buy all the O-rings for them, and all the O-rings for them cost $60-something. And not only that, then I had a problem with the regulator. I had to pay $15 more for the regulator parts. They said that's not included in the gun part. Since when is the regulator not part of all the gun? But that's what happens out there. They charge you large amounts of money, and then they nitpick you for all the rest of it. I think it's just crazy. So more people need to follow this line. Send me everything I need. I paid the money for the gun. Send everything to do. If these people can do it for $669, I know you can do it for $1,800. But I'll get off that bandwagon and get back to this again. But basically, this is my gun. And I'm telling you, this thing here, I just love it. I just love it. Now, I'm going to tell you the only downsides to this gun that I've found. And that is right here with the cheek piece. This thing here is made of metal. It's got a little plastic piece right here to try to protect you, but this part up here is metal. You put your cheek against this. And when you put your cheek against this, it's cold. So what I'm going to probably do is probably put something on here to make this a little softer and a little warmer, and also a little piece here for the same thing, so that when I lay my cheek on it in cold weather, it doesn't suck all of the heat out of my cheek. But other than that, that's the only thing about this gun that I did not like. Everything else about this gun, I love. So now, I'm going to do the same thing with this gun I always do. We're going to take this thing apart, and we're going to go ahead and set it out in terms of putting Picatinny up here, so we can have the gun sitting on the Picatinny bipod, rather. And then we're going to put a sling on it. And that's going to be about it. So let's go ahead and take it apart and do that. Now, we're going to do a trigger adjustment too. This thing here has this is not a two-stage trigger, it's a single-stage trigger, but it's real long in terms of the pull. I'm going to show you really quickly how you can shore that up. Okay? So let's do that part next. Okay, we're back. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this gun apart and stick a bipod on it and make a trigger adjustment. I'm gonna show you really quickly how to do that. Okay. There are two bolts on the bottom of this gun that you're gonna need a 4mm Allen wrench to take off. I already taken one of the screws out to save time. Basically, once you take the two screws out, you're going to find the gun comes apart very, very easily. Slides apart. So we're going to set this to the side. I'm going to show you what I did up until this point to get this stock ready. Now, as you can see, if you take a real close look here, you'll see that what I did here was I actually cut this back. I used a hacksaw to get this line straight. And then I used a file to file this flat. And the reason I did that is because what I came up with for this is that I'm going to actually have this Picatinny rail sit as far forward as I can. So there's, because the more you put it back, this gun is really, really light and shaky, you know, as all light things are. The further I push this thing forward, the more stable I'm going to be able to get weight on the front of that. So when I'm bench resting it, it will have a little weight on the front of it. Okay, so that's one I did. Then I drill a hole in it all the way through, and this is just a piece of Picatinny that I actually cut off with my hacksaw and to pop on there. That's all, just a piece of Picatinny. Okay, and then on the inside, this is what really was tough. This barrel sits flush with this. Okay, so if you can see, I got a bolt in there. Now I was talking to Ken. Ken said on his, all he did was take a wood screw and make sure that it didn't go all the way through, and he was able to get his on that way. I don't ever want to deal with this again, so I went a little bit further with it. But what I had to do was I had to countersink this nut that's in here. So I had to drill with a wider drill to get that down flush in there, so that when the barrel fitted in here, it did not hit this metal piece. Okay, so now all I have to do is take these two pieces and join them together. And basically, at that point, I don't have the wrench to do this right now, but at that point, it's done. Okay, and as you can see, by not putting it back here, I got a better hand rest. because I wanted to make sure I would be able to hold this thing when I'm shooting it. And if this piece was back here when it's cold outside, plus this is kind of pointed and not very comfortable on the hand, I wanted to make sure that was out of the way, so I shifted it forward instead of having it come back here. It's out of the way, I can shoot, and it serves two purposes. It's out of the way so I can hold it. And also, the Picatinny will be way out here, which is going to put more weight on the front of this gun and make it a little bit more stable when I'm benching it. And that was the purpose for that. So that's ready to go. All I need to do is tighten it. Let's go to the second part of this. Okay. When you get this gun, there's a linkage here from the trigger assembly all the way back. There's a spring here that brings the trigger back to place. This trigger is not adjustable at all. So the adjustments you make have to be made from back here. In order to do that, what you're going to need to do, and I hope you guys can see this okay, should be big enough, is you're going to have to take this is a 2.5 millimeter wrench, stick it in these holes, and screw this out, because this is a guide to keep this thing in place. Okay, once you take this off or slide it down, you'll be able now to pull this pin here. I'm not going to pull it now. You'll be able to pull this pin out and twist this thing forward. I think about 4 full turns was all I needed to get it to go from a long trigger pull to where I like it. And I'll just demonstrate it here now. Before it was a long trigger pull, now it's just slight, and the gun goes off. You really want that slight trigger pull, because if you got creep and you pulling it a long way, that gun's going to be moving. But if it snaps, if you got it there and it could just pap, 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 that's what you want. But one thing you don't want to do, okay, let me just caution you against this, okay? When you make this adjustment, the first time I made it, it cocked and it was perfect. But this thing, it was cocked too far. And what you want to do, once you get it cocked, make sure there's nothing in it and it's cocked, hit this thing back here as hard as you can. Okay, that's the drop test. Okay, if you got a wooden mallet or a rubber mallet, it's even better. But I hit it hard with my hand and went bam. I said, whoa, cocked it again, bam, it went off. That's not going to survive the drop test. Any shock to this gun is going to go off. So I took it off and I winded it back 2 times, hit it, didn't go off, hit it, didn't get off, hit it really hard, went off again. Turned it half a turn, cocked it again, and I could hit it as hard as I want to. I could bang it on the table and it would not go off, but at the same time, the trigger pull was light enough to shoot the way I wanted to shoot. Okay, so when you make that adjustment, you're going to pull this, then you put this Carter pin back, tighten this screw up here so that it doesn't twist up here, because it can twist the trigger. Tighten all of this down, and you're set. So that's basically how we did the Picatinny, how we made the trigger much cleaner. Let's go to the next phase of putting the gun back together and putting a bipod on it, and then we'll see what the scope looks like for it. Okay, let's bring the 2 parts back together again. It's very simple. You just hold this upside down, line your trigger up, and it falls right into place. Now you have to do is just take the Allen wrench and drop your 2 screws into place, and you're ready to go. We're ready to go to the next phase. It's just this simple. I love this little gun, you guys. Ever since ever since I first picked it up, it's been on my mind now for well over a year to get this gun. And I would have gotten it, but I found such a deal at $170 for my Urban that I had to get that first. But okay, now the gun is back together. The Picatinny is in place. I'm going to pause it, throw the Picatinny on it, tighten this up, and we'll put this Picatinny on it. Alright, we're back again, and now we want to set this thing out with a scope. This thing here has a dovetail. Unfortunately, I have 2 scopes left over from my days of the Springers, and they're both dovetail in terms of their setup. I'm really thinking of going with this little one here because this thing here weighs just a little bit more than 1 pound. I think it's 1 pound 2 ounces. This here is almost 2 pounds. The difference being, this is a single powered 6 powered scope. This is a 3 to 9. And I'm not sure if I want the extra pound on here that this will bring in terms of zooming. Both of them are front focused. This is a little bit shorter. I think in this particular case, I'm going to go with lightness rather than with size. So we're going to go ahead and pop this scope on here. And if I can do it now, I'll do it now. If I can't, there we go. I'm going to pop this scope on it and tighten her down. And this will be the configuration for this particular gun. And there it is. So as I said, I will be coming back later and doing a full review of this gun. But right now, suffice it to say, she's set up, she's ready to go. I'm gonna clean the barrel. Remember, when you get these guns, clean the barrel. There's a lot of grease in there. There's quite a few patches on a lot of these guns to get that grease out of there. Otherwise, it's gonna really throw off your thing. And then I'm gonna put at least 3 different pellets through this at 30 yards. This is gonna be a 30-yard gun. So again, you can get this gun at Carl in the Netherlands for $469 plus shipping, or you can get it from Diana, same gun with a prettier stock, for $700. So until I come back with the full review of this, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and let's keep it safe and keep having fun with this great sport. See you later.